everyone, welcome to Deepika Makeup. Hope you all are doing super awesome. Today I'm going to share my thoughts and also do a weight test on the new Maybelline foundation. It's called the SUPERSTAY Full Coverage Foundation and they claim it stays up to 24 hours. I'm going to keep it for as long as I can and I'm going to let you know what I think about it. Maybelline released this foundation about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I guess, and I got a few comments from you guys asking me to try out this foundation and what my shade is in this foundation. This foundation costs about $9.99 to $11.99 because I got this from Ulta for $11.99, but then I saw this for $9.99 at Walmart and Target, and I feel like it's very rightly priced. It's just about $2 or $3 more than the regular Maybelline Fit Me foundation. Coming to the packaging, it comes in this very nice glass bottle and you can see the shade of the foundation, and also you will know when you're running out of the foundation. But it comes with this cheap white cap and also a pump, and I really appreciate that they have included this pump because the Fit Me doesn't have it and I always have issues with it. The white cap is actually a little high maintenance but totally manageable. Now coming to the shade range, I believe I saw no more than 10 or 12 shades in the stores, but online I saw that they have 16 shades, which is still bad because the Maybelline Fit Me line is very big, and I wish they bring out that shade range with this foundation as well. I got this foundation in 2 shades. I was not able to decide between these two. They were very close. I got in 310 Sun Beige. Sun Beige. I believe this is the foundation shade I have in the Maybelline Fit Me as well. But it looks a little bit pink. Not too much, but I feel like it has a little bit of pink. I went ahead and got the next shade as well, which is Golden. When I put this shade against the rest of my foundations, this looks very close, but when I see in the bottle, it looks a little bit red, and I was right because this is the exact shade for me. 312 Golden is the right shade for me, but then it has a tiny bit of red in it. My face is well moisturized. I did my regular skincare, and then I'm using a primer, and this is the Color Bar Perfect Match Primer. This is what I'm currently using with a lot of my foundations. So I'm gonna apply this on my T-zone, and that's where I usually apply primer, and whatever is left I'm just gonna blend it all over my face. And on a daily basis I do apply primer only because my skin is very oily, and I also do have open pores here, so and I have some texture on my cheeks, so that's the reason to just smooth out. I use a primer every single time I do my foundation. I'm gonna take 3 pumps. I'm gonna do half of my face with a beauty blender and half of my face with a brush, so we'll see with which this foundation performs the best. So I'm going to use beauty blender on this side. This is a very high coverage foundation. As you can see, I had blemishes and also I have some dry patches from my acne right here. It has covered very well. It is not showing up my dry patches, which is a very nice thing. But as you can see, it looks a little red, just a tad bit red. It blends super easily, and it's not fully matte. It has natural finish. It's not dewy either. It just looks very natural. Look at the finish on this side of my face, and that's the finish I have on this side. Just a little glow, and it's very natural, and it looks very smooth as well. So I just love the finish of this foundation. It's very lightweight as well. So as you can see, it blended so easily, full coverage, and yeah, I really like the finish. So let's apply the foundation on this side as well with a brush and see which one works the best. And I'm gonna blend this foundation, and I definitely like using this with a beauty blender because with the brush I feel like it's a tad bit streaky, but the coverage is very same. Did you notice how quickly this foundation has blended with a brush or even with a beauty blender? The finish is the same. It blends very easily. It looks the same on both the sides. I like the beauty blender side a tad bit better in terms of how it's showing the texture. I mean, with the beauty blender it's more flawless, I would say. So I'm back with full face of makeup. I actually applied this foundation at 1 o'clock, but then I had some things to do, so I finished my makeup at 2:15. So let's say we applied this foundation at 2 o'clock, and after finishing my makeup I also applied Scandinavia setting spray. It always works for me with making my foundation last longer, I mean my makeup lasts longer, and also it controls my oils. After doing my makeup, I really love how this foundation looks. It kind of gives me my Fenty foundation vibes. Not completely, but a little bit, because the finish of this foundation is just beautiful. I like the natural finish. I mean, the shade is a little off, but then after I applied my concealer and, you know, with the full face of makeup, I think it looks way better. This foundation oxidizes a little bit, but then after full face of makeup, that is almost very negligible. And the main thing that I want to mention is how light it feels. It just feels like I don't have makeup on my face. Very, very light. Love how it looks on my skin. Doesn't really show up any dry patches or texture on my skin. And I absolutely am loving how this looks. Let's see how this foundation is gonna hold up. And I'm back for my first check-in. The time now is 6:30. I just came back from outside, and I don't know if you can tell on camera or not, but the foundation actually oxidized on me. I look more orange than in the afternoon, and also there is a lot of oiliness, especially between my eyebrows, on my nose, and also like right here on my T-zone area. Very, very oily. But then the finish of the foundation did not change. It still looks very flawless, and you know, the finish looks very flawless, and it did not fade or anything. I don't see any foundation cracking around my mouth or around my nose, but then I look like a grease ball. It's very, very oily. Usually if I see my face this oily, I just apply some powder or even just blot off my oils with a blotting paper. But then for the sake of this review, I'm gonna leave this on like this for I think few more hours. So I'm back for my final check-in. The time now is almost 9 o'clock. So it's been about, I would say, 7 hours that I have this foundation on my face. So the only difference that I could see from my last check-in is that my skin is more oily right now, and if I leave this foundation on for a couple of more hours, I'm sure that I would drip oil off my face. Other than that, the foundation still looks really good, and it still feels lightweight, and except the oiliness, I don't have any complaint with this foundation. But my complaint with a lot of foundations is that if it doesn't cover my oiliness, I'm not gonna like that foundation. And this foundation is a step higher. I can feel oiliness even on my cheeks, which is very, very rare for a foundation to do that. So now I'm back after touching up my foundation. So I blotted off the oil with some tissue paper. That was a lot of oil, I would say. And then I applied some powder just on my T-zone area and dusted a little bit on my cheeks as well. So now you can tell the difference from the last clip, you guys. So two of my final thoughts about this foundation. So first of all, let's just read what it says at the back. So first thing is full coverage foundation. Oh yes, this is a very nice full coverage foundation. Even if you have acne prone skin, you would definitely enjoy this foundation without any concealer. This has covered everything in just one coat, and on top of it, I like the fact that it did not show up any dry patches all throughout the day. And the next one is up to 24-hour wear. I won't be able to test this foundation for 24 hours obviously, but right now I tested it for 7 hours, and I can vouch for at least for like 9 to 10 hours this foundation is gonna stay put. My face still looks fresh as if I just applied my foundation. Love it. And then the next one is seamless matte finish. I wouldn't say this is a matte finish foundation, it's more a natural finish foundation. It just looks like my skin when I just have this foundation on. Next one is breathable and comfortable. Oh yes, it definitely is very, very comfortable, and I also didn't feel like my pores are clogged. This is the third time I'm using this foundation, and I always felt very, very comfortable. And also I really like that it's a very light foundation. Even if I had this this foundation for the whole day today. I didn't feel like I have full on makeup on my face. And the next one is fade and transfer resistant. Oh yes, it did not fade at all. As you can see, my foundation looks like I just did my makeup, and after I blotted off my face, it's all normal. And also I laid down for some time in the afternoon and the foundation did not transfer onto my pillowcase. The next one is oil free and does not clog pores. Maybe the foundation is oil free, but it does not control oils at all, and that part I would give 0 points to this foundation. If you have oily skin, please check your skin after 3 hours or 4 hours, because this foundation is very bad at controlling oils. I applied primer, I applied a setting spray as well, and still this foundation did not hold up for more than 4 hours without making my skin extremely oily. My skin is right now, it's cold outside, so my skin is somewhere normal but a little bit oily. In summers my skin is going to get really oily, so I'm sure this foundation is not gonna work for me in summers. I cannot wear this foundation when I'm going out, or if I'm in India, forget about this foundation for sure in summers. And I cannot wear this foundation to parties or something where I have to stay for more than 5 or 6 hours and I don't have the chance to check my makeup. I cannot take chance with this foundation. Another thing that I forgot to mention in the morning is that this foundation doesn't have any SPF, so you do not have to worry that it's going to give flashback when you're taking pictures at night. So overall I would give a rave review to this foundation. So if you have normal or dry skin, get this foundation, enjoy it, good for you. If you have oily skin, if you don't mind touching up your makeup in the midday, I would still ask you to go try this foundation, because the finish is amazing, the way it feels on the skin is amazing, and it's a long wear foundation. For a drugstore foundation to look like this should be an amazing stuff. So those are my thoughts on the new Maybelline SUPERSTAY Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. If you enjoyed this video and found this video helpful, do not forget to hit on the thumbs up button, and also do subscribe to my channel along with clicking on the bell icon right beside it. Do not forget to hit on the bell icon right beside it so you can get notifications about my new uploads. I'm uploading 3 videos every single week from now on. Now it's high time that I remove this makeup and have my dinner, so I'm going to wrap up this video right here, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye.